Welcome to The Buzz, where we bring you leaders in dental education discussing hot topic courses and industry trends. I'm your host, Vanessa Emerson, founder of Dental Speakers Bureau, and today I'm interviewing Minal Sampat. Thanks for joining us, Minal.
Hey, good to be here.
Glad you're here. Now, many of us know Minal through Facebook, her Facebook presence, and her Marketing and Mocktails show and Facebook page. We know that she grew up in a very competitive environment of the Virgin Islands, and she's here to share with us a little bit about her presentation, One Size Doesn't Fit All, Making Your Marketing as Unique as Your Practice. So, Minal, welcome again. And could you lead us into, tell us a little bit about what's going on in the dental practice that your presentation would help to resolve, or how do you bring value to the dental practice?
I mean, how many of us have gone online, right, and looked at a dental practice website and then saw the same design for the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and they all look the same? And you have no idea who the dentist is, or if you know an idea, there's a small little photo there, but nothing more than that, And we live in a world of constant noise. So by the time that you and I are done talking over here for the 2 minutes, there's probably about 10 different Facebook ads going through my background right now. So if I look at my desk right now, I have 2 computers open there. I have another laptop. I'm talking to you on your laptop. I have 2 iPads and I have a phone. That's the technology world that we live in. We live in a world of constant noise. So in the world of constant noise, if you don't make yourself unique, if you don't show off your wow factor, you don't make any money. Because people are going to relate to things that they think are interesting. And if your content is not interesting, if what you're putting out there is not interesting, it doesn't convert. So this lecture, one size doesn't fit all, making your marketing as unique as you, is talking about how you, as a dental professional, as a practice owner, maybe an office manager or a clinical team, how do you make yourself unique? How do you separate yourself than just being a dentist, than just being a dental hygienist, than just being an office manager? So this is what we talk about. We talk about how to figure out what it is unique about you, and then how do you take that and make it into a nice package and tell the world about
it? When I work with dental speakers, we call that differentiation.
Yes.
Helping meeting planners understand, for instance, right now that's what we're doing, helping planners understand how your marketing courses are different from the others out there. And it's similar for the dental practices, and they need to show how they're the expert and why we'd want to go to be a patient there. So could you give us a little idea, a little deeper on that as to how do practices differentiate? Just short and sharp answer. Could you give us a couple of examples of how would a practice differentiate or show how they're unique? What are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about multiple things. It could be as simple as you being the dentist who sees patients on time. That's actually one of the biggest negative reviews online, is not being seen on time. So if you are seeing your patients on time, put it out there. It's like Domino's, half an hour you get a free pizza. Put it out there. Talk about your wow factor. If that is, why should I come to you? If you're going to see me on time, great. If you have a practice that's like a spa, many dental practices are now turning into different things. And if you have a spa practice, talk about it. If you have a nutrition on board, talk about it. If you have a dental hygienist who everybody absolutely loves and it's very, very gentle, and you have these patients who are scared and are talking about that, let's put it online. Few very, very quick tips. I'll give you an example. When you introduced me today, you said that I grew up in the Virgin Islands. I'm sure the meeting planners and the listeners here have no idea what my company is called, but they're going to remember, the speaker who grew up in the Virgin Islands. That's a wow factor about me. I get so many calls coming in and say, are you the person from the Virgin Islands? And I'm like, yes, that is me. I am the girl from the Virgin Islands. And, I grew up in that, because if the meeting planners and the listeners have ever been to the Virgin Islands, specifically to St. Thomas, that's where I grew up. That's my home. That's where I go to visit my family. There is one street in St. Thomas called the Main Street. But Main Street is different than the Main Streets we have in the States. This Main Street has 200 jewelry stores, all aligned right next to each other and in front and back of each other on one street. and they all make money, and they all sell jewelry. That's what I grew up in. I grew up in my family, struggling, making it happen every single day, not because of the jewelry they're selling, but because of what makes them unique. And they're thriving. And all of the jewelry stores make money. So imagine yourself as a dental practice with 200 on one road, and you're trying to make money. It's a
scary thought.
It's a scary thought. So I talk about so many of these examples, and we don't have time to dwell into all of those here, but it starts from the service, it starts from what you're able to offer, and talks about how you're able to show off what you can offer.
So it sounds like you'll share some formulas and principles that will help them be able to be unique. Now, before we sign off, is there anything that would be important for the meeting planner to know about this presentation that we haven't covered yet?
Sure. Something that I truly believe in is I love to have implementation take place. So there are lectures where we do leadership and communication, and I love that fact because this lecture does include leadership and communication and how to make your team really be a part of your culture, because all of that is important to make that wow factor, But we're also going to talk about tips and strategies. So it's not just a motivational lecture. It's actually going to be tips and strategies, discussion on how we can take everything that is so great about us and how we can make it huge and tell it to the whole world.
That's great. So I'm going to add one more question on here. So that highlighted that this is a presentation that's for the dentist and the team, and it sounds then like it's fairly interactive.
Oh, it's so interactive. I think every time I have given this presentation, I usually have to stay an hour after, because the amount of questions and discussions and things that happen, and I'm always available to do that. So absolutely, this is a really, really interactive approach.
Well, that's great. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Minal, for sharing with us today and joining us. And for information on bringing Minal to speak for your next meeting, please visit dentalspeakersbureau.com. And thanks again for tuning in.